All right, Shaun the Nerd here at the swap meet in the streets, SpeedMart. Barry Martinez judging right now. How you doing, Barry?
Good. How you doing, Shaun?
Man, you know, it's off season, but you never have an off season, huh?
No, not really. I mean, the end of the year, this deal's designed to try and help everybody get going for next year, whether they want to get in or out, or just find some stuff for the next season for them. But now we end the season and then start getting ready for next year. We're getting ready with my wing down program. We're going to go down and hit a couple of races down in Arizona here, actually leaving Monday morning. So we'll be gone for a couple of weeks and then be back and be ready to get going again.
All right, so we'll talk about a couple things. We can talk about wing down. We'll talk about SpeedMart. So with SpeedMart, you've announced some cool things. You got some services going on. Talk about your services and why you started those.
Well, I mean, we've always kind of rebuilt the power steering pumps. We've always tested fuel pumps. We've been rebuilding shocks for many years now. But as the need and stuff like that's been getting greater, we decided, it's been a real problem trying to get steering gears rebuilt in a timely fashion and get them back. And then there's really no one on the West Coast doing them at any level. So it's just a little closer option for people. With our steering gear dyno, we've found a lot of problems on that thing, so it's pretty cool. The rear end rebuilding we've been doing for the last year or two, just very quietly, but we're in full swing now, and we've got all the options for everybody to do here, and we can do it local. So that's kind of the cool thing. People don't have to mail it out and wait, and our turnaround time, 2 weeks outside on a steering gear. Rear end's about the same, so I mean we can get stuff done quickly.
And you got good people doing it. Mike knows what he's doing, huh?
Yeah. I brought in Mike Llewellyn beginning of last year, and he's been a great asset because he's got that mechanical mind. He builds motors and stuff like that. And when you're working with stuff like this, I mean, he can rebuild transmissions, steering gears, and he builds engines. You got to have that kind of somewhat of a machinist brain to really understand everything. And he does. He's got that mindset. So it's been working great.
Yeah, and you could fix, otherwise they'd either buy a new one or, if they can't get it fixed or figure it out, sometimes it's an easy fix. Like you told me a story, about the Millers, Zans, it was an easy fix. Otherwise they'd have to buy a new one or send it out and it would be a long time, and then they were able to keep going.
Well, and that's the deal, I mean, they tried changing out their pumps and lines and everything else like that, and we put it on the dyno and spooled it up, and we saw there was an issue, so we went ahead and tore into it, and then once we got inside, actually found the problem, seen it, and we're able to rebuild the gear, put it back on the dyno, took the lid off, spooled it up again, and it calmed everything down. She had a leak out her cap, and it would just drench her every night, every time they fired the car. So, yeah, it's a great tool, and with stuff like that, the only other way you would figure it out is to put it in a car and fire it, and you still don't know what's wrong.
and it's a pretty quick turnaround, too, and it's sprint cars and midgets, and you could even do pavement sprint cars, so that's pretty cool, too.
Yeah, it is. When we built the dyno, we said, the Northwest is starting to build again with sprint cars or pavement cars, and it's getting big, and it's just another convenience factor for them guys, so they can get it handled here and not have to send it all the way to Tennessee. It's just good options, we've got we've been a KSE dealer forever, and I talk with Dave and all the guys back there, and they're like a little relieved that we're trying to help out from this end of the U.S. So it's a good deal there. Like you say, if you can fix it and not have to replace it, it's a big cost savings.
So we're dealing with the wind, but hey, at least we're not dealing with the rain, right?
Exactly. No, it's a little chilly out here, but it's supposed to get warmer later.
So you've been doing this swap meet. You guys usually do two. Skagit usually does a swap meet later on, but this is usually one that people can kind of bring stuff and kind of just put it on the street, just kind of pull up and kind of just do stuff. And then you usually do like a deal where you do no tax or something, right?
Yeah, today we pay the tax on anything bought in the store. It's not really a huge store day for us. It's more of me setting things up for guys that really want to make that jump. A lot of these guys are jumping classes or something like that. It just gives them ability to get rid of their stuff now, so they got till March or April to get their new program built, So It's something I started when I moved up here in probably about 2008 from my location down in Everett, and I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, and you've been doing this a long time. Like you said, you've been doing this a long time, and you've been real committed to the racing scene here in the Northwest.
Well, I try. A lot of people helped me in the beginning, and I'm kind of that guy that wants to try and help everyone else.
Well, you've been, if you go to Grace Harbor Raceway, there's a SpeedMart truck there. You go to Skagit Speedway, you got one there. You go to Deming, you go to wherever you go, there's one there, right?
Yeah, I think I'm probably the longest man standing that's serviced racetracks in this state. So, but once again, helping keeping the racing moving.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, anything else new with the services is the big deal. So, and if anybody wants to get a hold of you, even if they're out of state, if they see this see this interview and they're out of state, they can hit you up on the website.
Yeah.
Do you still do the free freight thing?
We do. We still have a Wednesday free freight online only.
Okay.
Just call the store and we'll get them handled.
All right. This is Shaun, and you're in the dirt.